That's James's dinner, so it's shrimp tempura soft tacos. And he can just make it himself as whatever he wants to put on there. So the Lovely Bones got top of the stack against the Client and Pelican Brief, and Icebound got bottom of the stack. So if you've been following us lately, you know that I'm doing a Susan Sarandon marathon. So I didn't know when I put this on hold, I didn't know which, it was volume 1 and 2, and volume 1, it turns out, has The Client in it, which is the Susan Sarandon movie. This is the John Grisham collection. It's 4 movies as it, and so I now have the other 2. I put both volumes on hold, so I now have these 2 to watch, but I haven't watched them yet, so I don't know what they're going to be like. I can't imagine they're going to be great, because one of them is a Matthew McConaughey / Sandra Bullock film, but it does have Kevin Spacey in it and Samuel L. Jackson, so maybe they pulled it along. And the other one's a Matt Damon thing, and I don't know how great Matt Damon is as an actor. He's
there are worse.
And everything. There are worse.
Channing Tatum or whatever his name is.
Anyway,
Channing.
But we'll be talking about those other 2 later. We're just talking about the first 2 in the set today. So,
how many John Grisham books have you read?
0. 0. I do own a few. I picked them up for free, and I thought I should read them because they're very popular, whatever. But I just couldn't bring myself to do it, and maybe I will one day. They're in the basement. Have you read them?
Pelican Brief.
Oh, you've read that?
Person at work, a nice person, gave it to me a long time ago. I got through about 2% of it.
Oh dear.
Big long thing.
Yeah, so well, I'm having that kind of trouble with. I'm having that kind of trouble with the Dune stuff, and honestly, there's a lot more interest in the Pelican Brief. I have more interest in it, the content, because I agree. I watched it, and there's actually a story there, and it was a very long story. But we'll get to that. The Lovely Bones. Now, I do like that Saoirse Ronan, which it's weird that they have her last in the list of credits, people here, because really the story is about her. But I suppose, given her, well, I'm going to give it away, but I'm going to give the story away a bit. But it happens so quickly into it that I don't know that it's really giving so much away. And I think, this was based on a novel, and it was pretty popular and whatever, so you probably already are familiar with the story if you're going to watch this. But the character that Saoirse Ronan plays ends up being murdered pretty early into it. So weird. Yeah. And so she's a spirit for the rest of the film, but so she is involved in it, so I don't understand why she ended up being last. Mark Wahlberg got top billing here, and then Rachel Weisz, and then Susan Sarandon, she wasn't really, I don't know which way you actually pronounce her name.
Yeah.
Probably. But she didn't really feature that much into the film until the latter part, and then she did a fair amount, but still I don't know why she got ahead of some of the others, like Stanley Tucci. He's in this quite a lot. It's amazing, because he was in another film that I watched recently, and I don't know which one it was, but oh yes, I do. It was one of the ones we reviewed yesterday.
I thought I recognized his name.
And he had been a bad guy in that too. So, now what did he do? And honestly, I think he was in The Client here. I'm going to go look in this one too. I don't know how to... boy, this writing is tough to read.
Mm.
I can't tell who was based in. Anyway, Tommy Lee Jones. Yeah, I don't know. I think he was in The Client, but I'm not sure. Or Pelican Brief. I think he was in one of these two, and I can't remember which one. Because honestly, I watched these starting at 3:30 in the morning when I woke up, and you know what? I fell asleep during the Pelican Brief, and I feel very good about that because I was trying to recover. And I'm not trying to. Oh, he was definitely in the Pelican Brief. I see his name here. So, and he was a bad guy in that. I hadn't realized that he played bad guys back.
Mm-hmm.
Way back. You knew, hey?
No,
I didn't know.
I don't even know who it is.
Oh. Well.
I think I see Matt Damon on the back.
Yeah, they're not. He's there, but he doesn't look like himself there. They have him.
No, he doesn't.
No, they have him. No, that's not Matt Damon. That's Stanley Tucci. But right there. But they have him looking like honestly like creepy pedophile down the street or whatever, because that's who he's playing, a child murderer. So in that one.
Yeah, that's way worse than a pedophile, I suppose.
Well, I don't know. It's terrible. Whatever. I don't understand that. Any of that. I don't understand it. But the Pelican Brief, he plays a guy who's killing people. I guess he'd be
I didn't
sort of
even
like an
get to
assassin or
that
something
part
like
in
that.
the Pelican Brief. Isn't that appalling?
Well, he kills somebody in a gay theater.
Man, oh man, I maybe didn't even get through 2% of it. I might have got through 10 pages.
Yeah.
Which used to be standard for anything that I didn't really care for.
So yeah, it's interesting watching these movies that were made back in the 90s or whatever, way back when, because, well, this one wasn't that long ago. Saoirse Ronan's not that old. This one was 2009. So, anyway, it's interesting in watching older movies and seeing faces you recognize, but even if you watched the movies back then, you didn't recognize them then. You know, they've become popular over the years or whatever, and now you recognize them. It's interesting. Anyway, I find it interesting. But so, what am I going to say about The Lovely Bones? I thought that there was a lot of beautiful details that I don't know. I really didn't expect it, given the content of the story. There's like the colors of the outfits and stuff like that, and whatever. It just looks really nice. And then there's her afterworld that she's in. Looks beautiful, you know. And yeah, whatever. The dollhouses, I like that. I thought the dollhouses would have more significance somehow, but anyway, doesn't matter. The acting was good, and the story was good. I didn't like it would have been taken from the book, I imagine, and it's parts where Saoirse Ronan is speaking about whatever, and she's trying to speak poetically, and she's supposed to be a 14-year-old, and I don't know. It just seems it seems beyond a 14-year-old what they would say or think, or.
It's not just kids that they miswrite for.
So I didn't like that, and it would have been in the book, I imagine.
Oh my God.
Right, so that's disappointing.
Well, a bestseller, is it?
Well, I imagine so. Yeah. So anyway, still I gave it top of the stack because it's an interesting enough story. It's an interesting enough idea for a story, and it's beautifully done, beautifully acted. So this is a professionally done project. I can respect it. The Client and the Pelican Brief. I don't know which one. I think I would put the Pelican Brief above the Client. Even though this is a Susan Sarandon marathon, I watched both of them because they both came home to me in this collection, right? And it's not that I prefer Julia Roberts as an actress. It's just I think the story was better with the Pelican Brief, and you didn't have to deal with the children. This young man is a major character in The Client. He's the client, so he's not a great actor. He's a little bit over the top. And the actress who plays his mother, who I've seen her in things before. I think she was the woman who played the lead. No, maybe I'm wrong. I was thinking she was the one who played the lead in, yeah, it is, Mary Louise Parker in Weeds. And boy, she's come a long way as an actress, because she was terrible in this. The Client. Mm-hmm. Not that I thought so much of her in Weeds, but it worked.
So she was kind of like the mother in Weeds?
No. Well, yeah, she was the drug dealer. Do you remember that?
Yeah. I thought she did a pretty good job.
Yeah, she did in that. Mm-hmm. Well, you know what? Everyone really did. That story was okay, wasn't it? But this one she didn't do. I don't, maybe it's the fault of the director, or maybe they were like, okay, that's a wrap, and let's print it. And it's like, no, we should have done another take. But I don't know. It just didn't work for me. The Client didn't work for me as well. And with the Pelican Brief too, it's, they're both kind of stories of people running around being chased by bad guys, and people involved with the government and the police and whatever. You can't trust them, and you don't. The same sort of stories. And honestly, I didn't understand enough about the Pelican Brief, but keep in mind I did fall asleep for a long time. And one thing I'll say about this is the DVD that the Pelican Brief is on, it's a two-sided one. So you put this on, and then all of a sudden it just starts playing. You don't have to press anything, it just plays automatically, and then it stops automatically, and you're like, well, this is in the middle of the film. What in the world's going on here? And then it says reverse side additional content on here, and so you flip it over, plays automatically. So I've never come across that before. But it is a long movie. I don't think it's long enough that it warrants being put on two sides like that. It's strange. So anyway, Icebound. This is based on the New York Times best-selling book Icebound, a doctor's incredible battle for survival at the South Pole. This is the story of Dr. Jerry Nielsen, physician who discovered a lump in her while she was at the Amundsen Scott South Pole Station. And I'm guessing that it's a real story, because at the end they say, this is what happened and whatever. So maybe. And it does I don't know if there's really enough story there for a movie. That might have been the problem. It's set in the South Pole, so you're not getting a lot of scenery or anything that that will help it along. Sometimes that helps a movie along. But you don't even have a penguin or anything here in this story. And I think it was filmed, my guess is southern Saskatchewan, because in the wintertime.
As flat as a pancake?
Yeah, exactly. So I think they filmed it there so that it would be flat and look like the South Pole, but yeah, I don't know. Because the guy, the police officer, the native guy from the corner gas,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's great. He was in this, so that's what makes me think. Oh, it must have been set in Saskatchewan, but I don't know. It could be. There are other flat places. It could be.
I know we've both actually been to the place where Corner Gas is.
Yes, James made us
Rollo, Saskatchewan,
to go see it.
It wasn't a thrill for Pony. I'd already been through it, maybe several times. It's very distinctive. It has a water tower.
Yeah. I guess it was a nice enough experience. It
very
didn't take
close
us
to
long
where my mother was
James
born.
will drive us. We'll go on a trip. I'll agree to go somewhere for hiking, and then all of a sudden we're like on back roads through Saskatchewan. Is the most interesting, because the back roads in Saskatchewan.
The main roads are probably. Folks,
yeah.
Stop.
Yeah, you need four-wheel drive.
Conservative. Your roads are just.
They're really.
It's
really bad.
It's an embarrassment.
I mean, a lot of them, they used to be paved, and it's worse if they're paved, because
tear them up when you got these huge potholes. And
they're
just turn them back
terrible.
to gravel.
Yeah.
It's absolutely shameful. You used to have a government that kind of gave you a medical system and roads and stuff like that, and then you persisted in voting Conservative. What are you thinking of? Stupid.
I don't know. Anyway, so
yeah, the worst was Highway 4. 4 in Saskatchewan, south of Highway 13. Just a scandal, at least a provincial, maybe a national scandal, maybe even an international scandal. Highway 4. I think they're supposed to have improved it, but when we went on it, it was just like a. Yeah, I think I could go through a landmine field, weave. After trying to avoid the potholes on that. Potholes, it's not holes, they're like ditches or something like that.
They're incredible.
Crazy. Anyway.
Yeah, one time James came back and he'd ripped like the under part of the car off because it somehow.
The front of the.
Yeah. Because he was driving in Saskatchewan roads.
I was trying to find where my dad.
Yeah.
Lived when he was.
And it was. I guess it must have gotten somehow dislodged, and so he was trying to take the rest of it off, and then. Anyway.
The worst was when I got into Gravelburg. I couldn't shift it into neutral. The shift got stuck.
That's interesting.
And I can't remember exactly what I did. I think I just sat there for a while. Did I have it in neutral? I can't remember. I think I had the brake on and just let it sit, and stuff percolated down. The gear shift was stuck. It's automatic, but you got the gear shift anyway.
Yeah.
That was scary. I was sitting there, man, I'm just going to...
It does say based on a true story here.
So. Wait until the gas runs out.
Yes.
Anyway, the thing that, like one of the more thrilling novels I read was when a kid, why were we reading it? I don't know. It was for school. I stationed Zebra, or Zebra as it's mispronounced. And it's located in the Arctic or Antarctic. I think it's Antarctic. Remember when we saw that thing with Kurt Russell? What you can really exploit is cabin fever, because you're stuck inside. You can't really do much outside. You're stuck inside, and if there's someone crazy or if there's something bad happening, it's going to happen inside. You can't escape. You escape from the place blowing up and you're going to freeze to death, right? So you're living on the edge. I'll be talking about it in the future. I got a postcard. How many of you folks have experienced this? I got a postcard from Antarctica. A friend of mine was doing, I think it was meteor research.
Interesting. Down
there. Postcard with a stamp from Antarctica.
Wow.
I wasn't from a penguin, but
that's
almost as exotic.
A collector's item.
That's something else.
I don't think many people.
But he wrote something called "Down and Out and on the Run in Moscow. I've read it once. I think I've reviewed it, but I'm going to be reviewing it. It's well worth reviewing. It's not very well written, but that's the way it goes. And it's got a story that should be told. He was in the Soviet Union half a year before I was, back in 1991, and his experience was very different from mine. I think his reading of it is that they were figuring he was a spy. He wanted to go to Novaya Zemlya, however you pronounce it, which means new land. Or no, it's Franz Josef Land, one of those two big islands back in the Arctic Sea. And those places were kind of off limits to foreigners. And I think when he applied to go up there on an expedition to look for meteors, they're going, who is this guy? And they would have checked out. He's a right-winger. His dad was a right-winger. And he was saying that one of his uncles or something like that, same name as him possibly, had worked for maybe NASA or something like that. The space, something to do with space in the United States. So I think my friend's dad came from Texas originally. So it would have been just setting off alarms with him, and they were playing tricks with him and all this sort of stuff. Very nasty stuff. I guess he made a mistake going over there by himself. He didn't know a word of Russian, basically. And they were, according to the story, playing mind games with him. It was tough enough when I was over on a tour, dealing with some of the, well, actually the tour guide, he was hanging with some of the people. They had a woman phone me up, kind of in the middle of the, not night, but in the evening, and I was going, man, I'm being set up. I could hear them laughing in the background. I think one guy said Felix, so this was the friend of the tour guide. Yeah, stupid chimps. Anyway, you just don't know what you're being set up for. See what I'm saying? They thought they were just being smart.
So, it says at the bottom that this was exclusively distributed in Canada by blah, 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 Toronto, Ontario. So,
made in
I don't know, I
Saskatchewan,
had the feeling that
Canada.
while watching this, that it was made by some made for Canadian TV kind of production. But,
well, I don't see in Canada exclusively TVA films. There's no doubt about it. You see the address, 2 Bloor Street West, Toronto, Ontario. Bloor is one of the big. At least it's not on one of the minor streets there. But
I don't know what made Susan Sarandon want to do this film, but
it's based on a New York Times best-selling book, Icebound. Okay.
But maybe she had a little bit of time.
Yeah. Really weird. Everyone else looks like, I won't call them losers, but not Academy Award winners.
Or maybe it's just, she had some very nice breasts, and I see that in Hollywood they like to film breast cancer stories with somebody with really nice big bosom, and so then it's
a lot to lose.
Exactly, it seems like they have more to lose than the rest of us.
You got her kind of looking different. That's her, is it? Okay. This came from Pincher Creek.
One thing about this that I found funny is at one point Susan Sarandon's character, she was talking to the youngest child in this, and was saying something like, what did she say? The child says she was old, and then she said, well, 35 isn't old, or something like that. But there was no way that her character was 35 years old. Maybe that was a bit of a joke or something, because she was the grandmother in this, and Rachel Weisz was the mother, and the mother had at least a 14-year-old daughter. And I don't know if the other one was supposed to be a little older or a little younger or what.
I have a sister who was a grandmother about that age.
Really?
She was a mother by age 16.
Huh. Okay.
And met her daughter.
Maybe it wasn't a joke.
She had a kid when she was much older. So you had 16, you got 32.
Yeah.
Might have been 18, 34. It's a possibility.
It's very strange.
It's different. Yeah,
Okay.
It's not recommended.
Well,
That's
I
all
don't really
I'm gonna
have
say
anything
about
else to talk about, unless you want to talk about the politics of the whole thing. I mean, one thing that I found interesting is not to do with this one, because this one was based on a true story, but the fact that there's so many best-selling novels, because like all of these here would have been bestsellers, the novels and the book. The bottom one was true story, but the first ones on the stack, they were just novels. And it's interesting to see how many people really get into political or like heavy stories that are fiction, like
Have political overtones, yeah.
Yeah, or whatever. Like this one didn't. This one wasn't political. This one was child murder or whatever, but so not political. But still, I mean, there are actual serial killers out there, and I guess maybe with that I can understand people don't want to think about the real killers. Maybe that's why they go for this instead. But with something like this, I don't understand why they go for, like with the politics, like people you can't trust in government and whatever, and the police, and people that you should be able to trust, but you can't, and but then people will never read the stories that James reads that are about the real stuff,
Yeah.
And I think that's why people like Susan Sarandon, she's people look to her for political guidance or something, because they see her in all these political movies and they think, oh well, she knows so much about politics, right? But she's an actress playing a character in fictional stories about politics, so what does she know about politics? And
I've said it before, say it many times again. She was the one who one of the ones. But this is roughly a quote, after Bernie Sanders lost the nomination for Democratic candidate for presidential election back in 2016. She storms out of the convention. There's no difference between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. We found out between 2017 and